back again, yet from another reptile show. And I have to do this one in the bathroom just in case one of these guys gets away from me, or any of the feeders do. Plus it'll be very nice, very convenient here to just have my, my soap and everything just to wash kind of as I go along here throughout the video. You see I am scrubbing very well, very important for these animals that I'm going to show you. And I actually have all the cages and everything here with me as well, which is going to be convenient as well, so you can see their little temporary quarantine setups and everything. So, but I just got back, so it's a little bit of a chaos. This is my nice, cute little carrier that I did, and it's just like a 5-gallon coffee carrier holder from Sheets, and then I've taped, hot glued cardboard to the inner bottom just so the bottom doesn't fold up. And then I have plastic canvas. I have a little plastic canvas flap to help hold down this flap to hold it shut. And then I also have another piece of plastic canvas underneath. Don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. But that's my neat little carrier that I made that I took with me. Now I just want to show you a few of the things that I picked up while I was there to start. Because we all know the animals are the most exciting, so let's get the boring stuff out of the way, okay? I got a free little Zoom Ed sticker. No idea where I'm putting it, but it was free. As I had mentioned, I wanted to get a crap ton of more cork bark, and I did. I got this. Shape-wise, I figured this will make a nice little entry hole for my frog, or any other animal really. This piece, thought that might be really nice placed at a diagonal or something along those lines. I got a lot of like scrap pieces from the dollar bin. I got this really cool looking colored piece, which is probably going to be for my leopard gecko. Give her something else to just kind of climb on and everything. I got this piece with the lichen on it. I thought it might look really cool just as an accent piece sitting down. I don't think anything I have is really going to be able to get up underneath there unless I prop it up. But it would make a nice accent piece with the shape it is and everything. So, plus it's got the lichen. That was a plus. I got this piece just because it was a little bit different shaped. I know it's kind of weird. But I kind of just liked the way it looked. I figured, you know, I can't have too much cork bark. I can do a lot of cork bark stacking and everything. This is the big piece that I got. Really nice. This is probably the palest colored piece I've ever seen. You can see it's really nice high up. This is probably going to be used in conjunction with my other big piece with my corn snake. Just so I have wood that it spans the entire length of the snake. And then last but not least, I have this piece. I thought, again, it has this little side entry hole there. It might make a really nice, look really nice propped up in a corner with a nice entry hole here and in behind. So that's what I got. I got a bag full like last time. A lot of it is like was from the $1 and $2 scrap pile. A lot of the smaller stuff that I can just stack or, you know, make little accents out of. But I mean, even that was from there. It's an okay size piece. This whole bag here was $16 worth. I got $1 taken off, so essentially I got one piece free. Because the seller was running low on ones, so he just gave me a 5 back and change instead of 4 ones. So it's like I got a piece free. Yay! So I shouldn't run out of cork bark anytime soon. You may remember the last time I was at the Hamburg Reptile show, I bought an entire bag this size full of cork bark from the same seller. I got these. These are something I actually pre-ordered, and they're really cool. I'm really excited. Get these out for you. But these are actually nice, stiff, but yet bendable climbing ropes that'll suction cup up to a screen. They're 12 inches, so about standard. But they're married up paracord, very easily cleaned by soaking in a weak solution of Clorox water. But I got 2 of them, and these were actually made for crested geckos. And the red one is actually going right in my crested gecko tank so that I can save my vine that is in her tank now for something else. And then I figured, you know, with everything I'm always finding and picking up, it does not hurt for me to get a green one. You know, have a spare, have a second one on hand, you know, just in case. These were handmade, and they only cost $5 a piece, which is really not that bad. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I know I'm pretty stoked. Of course, I'm not going to be able to figure out how to get them back in the bag. This here, okay, you can probably not see, but it's a 12-pack of live earthworms. They didn't have red wigglers. Red wigglers is what my current frog is right now eating. But I mean, this was $3. I mean, that's pretty cheap. You can't even get red wigglers that cheap. I think red wigglers are about $5-6. I think that's a 12 count. But I mean, they're bigger, they're fatter. I'm gonna have to cut them in half for my frog, but hopefully he will eat them. All right, so that's pretty much as far as the products was that I actually picked up. I did have to buy a heat mat because I ended up with more reptiles than I was planning on buying, like usual. So I needed another heat mat, but I didn't get anything more decor-wise except for the cork bark. Cork bark is great for humid and dry setups, and as you've seen, it comes in a range of colors and shapes and sizes, and it just looks very natural, and it'll fit in almost any setup. So that's going to be my primary source of hides probably for most of my animals now and into the future, except for the ones where I already have a definitive plan for. But, alright, on to the exciting stuff. So we're going to open my carrier. This folds up, that folds down, and then these tabs you just kind of orient each other. So, for starters, I had a little wrapped up here. It's completely cold now. It wasn't very much heat. It's really old. It wasn't very much heat. Was a handy hands warmer, just so nobody got too cold from the shock of the cold air and the rain outside. It's completely dead now, and it's only been running for like an hour. It was really old, wasn't giving it much heat to begin with, but I thought it was better than nothing for them. First off, really not all that exciting, 60 count of 3/4 inch crickets for some of these animals. And this is my little cricket container here, which I'm going to have to put them in, which is going to be interesting because of what they're in. This is another reason, this is part of the reason why I'm doing this video in the bathroom, is so that if something gets away from me, you know, it's going to be a lot easier to catch in the bathroom than it is at other places. But these are like, this would be considered, this would be like PetSmart's large, medium/large size cricket. And I paid $4 for this 60 count tub. And to put that in perspective, that comes out to about 6 cents a cricket. That's half the price of these small crickets at PetSmart. So, I mean, that's pretty exciting and all that. So, let's try and get these guys in here. Now, this is, I laid a paper towel on the bottom, easy to clean up. Some crushed news, some shredded paper, just to give them places to climb so they're not on top of each other. A cricket cube, and then I have some actual cricket gut loading food on the bottom as well. So I just shook them up so I can kind of try and dump them in here. Hopefully without them jumping everywhere. Or jumping out, I should say. But you see a lot of them are still stuck in the thing. Ugh. See what I mean? Those crickets already. Ugh. And we're on the floor! Sorry, YouTube. I seriously got loose guys here. Oh. It's one of those things, like you get one and then like of course the other one is just like, no. You know, and then they go in the corner and it is just a big fucking mess of crickets. So, oh yeah, I actually got 2 from the container. So that's actually not a bad rate. I only lost 2 in doing it that way. So it's really not that bad. But yeah, this was a pretty good deal. And whenever I pick up a new animal, even though you may know, I've said it plenty of times, I hate crickets. I hate dealing with crickets. I have bad luck in keeping them alive and everything. But, you know, if I pick up a new animal and that's what they're used to, I want to make sure I have crickets on hand for it in case it's not switching over to, you know, superworms, waxworms, mealworms, or anything like that. So, but that's how I keep them. And, you know, I kept their little thing in there, but, so it's not bad. I figured 6 cents a cricket. I mean, crickets that size at PetSmart are about 20 or about 26 cents, somewhere around there, at least in my area. So for me, that's a pretty big deal. It's a very specific order in which I need to do this, folks. Just because of some things being cat bred, some things not, some things being really touchy, blah, 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 blah. So bear with me, okay? This was, look, we're gonna attempt to get him out. It's gonna be interesting because I don't know how hoppy he's gonna be, but apparently they hop. But this here, and I'm hoping I can get a better look at him for you, container. But this here is a Vietnamese mossy tree frog. And last show, I was trying so hard to get one, and by the time I rushed over to the stand and tracked him down, the 2 that the guy brought were already sold. They were actually sold 30 minutes from the time the door opened. So for this show, he actually let me prepay him using PayPal online to get it. And then I just picked it up from him in person. But let me show you the cage. Right here is my little setup. This is just a temporary quarantine cage, and it is just it's a 5.5 gallon aquarium, nice big bowl. I'm gonna put water in all of these dishes after this video when I'm moving them to where the cages are actually gonna sit. But I did bring my spray bottle a while, so I can mist this down. But it's just 2 layers of paper towel on the bottom. This here, all this here, this is just like foam pool noodles cut and sanitized. This here, the way I have them laid, is at a bit of a diagonal because they sat in better. But this will make a little shelf for him to sit on. This here he can climb on, he can climb underneath, and it gives a little bit of an overhang over the water just to kind of help him feel secure. And then I have this little suction cup plant. Again, just something to kind of hang over the bowl so he feels a little bit more secure. And then I have a little top from a little thing of eggs. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to spray this down a while. And then we're going to attempt to, I'm going to attempt to get him out for you guys. And see, this is why this is in the bathroom, really, is for the frog. But it's a very, very rare frog. You don't see him very often. He was definitely on the pricier side, folks. I actually have a piece of towel under there, even, that, I don't know if you can see that, like, all the way towards the back, but I have an extra piece of towel, oops, that I want to make extra damp. Probably overdid that a little bit, but it's okay, because this frog is actually semi-aquatic, so having it extra moist is really not going to be an issue. But let me go ahead, try and take him out and put him in the cage for you. There you go. So this is why it's in the bathroom, in case he gets away from me. But as you've seen, I washed my hands when we started, and I've actually, just so you know, I scrubbed everything down in the bathroom just last night with Clorox wipes. So if he lands somewhere, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm actually going to put him over here so he's a little bit more over the sink. But you're not going to be able to see this because I'm doing this thing. I'm putting my hand in front of his face where he's facing and then going in to grab him with another hand. So if he jumps, he should hopefully jump onto my hand. Okay, so he tried to jump away from me, but as you can see, he's not super hoppy. He's actually sitting in my hand, which is really good. This is what my Cassina maculata does, and I absolutely love him. This guy definitely will not be, you know, manhandled and touched as much. Especially since they have the ability to hop very well, as most frogs do. But I'm hoping you can get a better look at him. I was told if you keep him, a friend of mine gave me the hint that if you keep him vertical, it's a lot harder for him to hop. But as you can see, they're covered in all these bumps and nodules, almost like you'd expect of a toad, which makes them look like moss. They actually like to play dead too, which is really awesome. Good look at his face, hopefully. But apparently their color changes with their mood. So you can see he's got a lot of yellow stuff, more so on the side maybe. Wide hind feet, like I said, semi-aquatic. He's actually being, well, better behaved than I thought he would. I won't lie, but sorry, if I go out of view, it's just because I'm worried he's gonna like jump away from me. So I'm trying to just make sure he's not gonna go anywhere. But apparently their color changes with their mood. So when they're really, really dark, they're really upset. They're grumpy, they're not very happy. And the other one at the show, like when I first seen them, were really, really dark and not nearly as bumpy. This was definitely the bumpiest of the two, and I did ask for the one to pick me one with a lot of texture, and I absolutely love them. And as you can see, maybe even in his hind legs, maybe. See, there we go with the hopping. Not too bad though, but I know you're thinking about it. Maybe you can see in the hind legs. You want to hop again? He really likes his screen apparently. And now he's at the camera. So it's going to definitely take a lot of training work. He's going to go again. We're going to try and put him in his cage now. Here, Froggy. Froggy, cage. Take. Don't hop out. He's like, I'm done with this, I'm done with this. Okay, so I put him in his cage because he's getting a little too hoppy. Obviously, I did a little better of a job holding on to him than I thought I would. But there we go. Sorry, I have all the mist and not the greatest lighting, but he's already showing some green in his legs. He's apparently having really a lot of problems climbing because it's a little too damp in there. He'll figure it out, I'm sure. But, he's already wrecking the joint. But as you can see, like, compared to him, this tank is really, he doesn't make the tank look tiny. So, it'd be really good for quarantine just to help him make sure he's eating and everything. But that's him. Like I said, very rare amphibian. And I've been wanting one for a while, and they're dang near impossible to find. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that the mossy frog is in adult male, so he will not get any bigger. But he is an adult male. And everything I have, by the way, is already named. I had names picked out or on hold for the particular animals I got. So everything was named before I got into the car, pretty much. So that's pretty cool. I think everything was named before I left the show, honestly. So, but the frog's name is Barbossa, like, and literally that does come from Pirates of the Caribbean. So he is named after Captain Barbossa, and I thought it was kind of fitting since they look kind of strange, and everything. So, but yeah, one animal down. We'll do the non-captive bred animal first. So the next one is another rare critter. Again, something else that's been on my wish list that I've wanted for a while. And it is just a baby. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him or not. He's a snake, obviously. But This is something else that I wanted. This is something else that's been on my want list. Again, it's very rare. It's very hard to find. So we're going to put him over here a second. Put him down there. I'll take him out in a moment. I'm going to show you his little setup real quick. And then I'll tell you all about him and what he is. This here is going to be his little setup. Like I said, he's just a baby. And this is like twice the size. It's the length of a plastic shoebox, but it's definitely a lot wider. So it's a lot more room. You can see it does have clamps on it, so it's nice and secure, but just for extra security, I have these little office clips on it. So I actually, oops, sorry. So I can take them off. I actually just put them on here just to show you how I do it. I melted all those holes in myself. I broke down and bought a wood burner because I'm doing more and more and more freaking tubs just to keep everything I own. And when you're starting off with something this small, folks, you really need to have like things to, there you go. You really need to have things to grow him up in, because I can't put him in his adult tank. I actually have to set his adult tank up first even, so it's a pretty big deal. But this is just, these here are paper towel rolls, and I cut them to the right length I need and shoved them in. They're sitting in there really tight, you know, so you should be able to climb on them. I mean, this one's a little loose, but shoved a little paper so you can't go up in there, hopefully, in the little corners. This here is just a texturized piece from a plastic clothing hanger. Just a little, that was like a little old bowl for my animal. This is just a little fish plant, and I kind of just in there for cover. And then in the back, this is going to be the warm side, by the way. There's a piece of egg crate under there. You can go hide up under. And on top. And then I have this too. It's like a little paint thing. I'm going to have to spray this down that I saw on top. But this is going to be a moist hide, because they do need to have a humid hide in a bowl they can curl up in at all times if you're not spraying them down. And I'm not going to spray him down. He might get like a little like misting once a week, but nothing like the frog's going to get. And then I have another one over here behind the plant on the cool side for him. And you might see I have all this climbing stuff to provide extra room because they are semi-arboreal. So, like I said again, I'm watering later. I'm peeking on the froggy again. Say hi, Barbosa. He's like, oh, I don't know what I think about this. Mind me and my silly antics. So, let me go ahead and spray down this humid hide. And get it back in there before we unpack this little guy. Everything that I got today is a male, unfortunately. I really want to get some more female reptiles. Both of my geckos that I currently own, which is a crested gecko and a leopard gecko, are females, which is awesome. However, in the reptile world, generally males are a lot cheaper because, I mean, the more females a breeder keeps, the more eggs and the more babies they have to sell next year. However, you only need about one male per couple of females to actually fertilize all the females you have. So a lot more sellers get rid of the males. You see them getting rid of a lot more males than you do females. You usually pay extra for females because, you know, they can produce the young and more eggs and everything for you. And also, the thing, since more breeders are getting rid of males all the time, it's cheaper to buy males, and you can usually talk people down from the price, which is awesome. But, so when I'm packing them, we're going to put them in here. And I got a hair in here. I'm sure you all want to know what this is. First off, this is a colubrid. You're probably like, what the hell's going on? This is a colubrid. It is just a baby. It's not very old at all, and he's still eating fish. Try and get him out. He's might be a little touchy. It's okay. As you can see, this species can be a little nippy, but he's actually being a little nippy. He wasn't really at the show when I was holding him, but I mean, he's had a long day, so he was actually the calmest of the bunch. We're going to attempt to get him out. You can see this classic S. Are you okay now? Can I get you out? Can I get you out? And generally for a snake, you want to wait until they get out of that. And they're, you know, going to look around, because then at that point, they know you're not a predator. You're not here to hurt them. And they're going to be much more receptive to you picking them up. You can see he is just a tiny little guy. And I'm not really worried about getting bit. If he does, I mean, he's so freaking tiny, I'm never going to feel it. Like I said, he's eating fish. The breeder said he does eat some pinkies or pinky parts from time to time too. I will have him on fish probably, and fuzzy tails. But you can get a good look at him. Now, he's not going to stay this color. This is the hatchling baby color. He's going to turn, the species turns emerald green, and all the climbing stuff is because they're actually semi-arboreal, which is really cool. But you probably want to know what this is. This is a rhino rat snake, and they are very rare. You don't see them very often. Actually, I tracked somebody down from Colorado that I was on a waiting list to get one from. But it turns out this guy and one of his brothers actually had a kink in their spine. The breeder said it's not affecting them feeding or anything, but because of the kink, in case it's genetic, they probably should not be bred. So I got him a lot cheaper at pet-only pricing. But I don't know if you can see the little kink. He's got a little sticking out there, a little on his head, a little bump there, a little kink. And then the other one had a really bad kink along the back. It would have been even cheaper. But because of the kink, I got him pretty cheap. And I like the other one. He doesn't mind so much being touched there, which is really good. But so he's going to turn, from here he'll turn probably brownish to an olive green brown color to emerald green. The species can also get some blue, nice bright sky blue in between the scales, which is probably unlikely. Both of the parents were definitely more on the green end, especially the dad was green. So, you know, I'm just going to be very careful handling him in the spine. But like I said, this is a male, and his name is Yakul, which comes from the movie Princess Mononoke. It's the name of Ashitaka's deer. And you can see he's actually pretty calm. He's a rat snake, just like, you know, a corn snake, or, you know, real rat snake or whatever. But they are semi-arboreal. They'll spend some time climbing. And these guys hail from Vietnam and China. So I figure, you know, if I can get one, I don't care about the little bump. It's a little like, but hey, I saved $150. $100 on the base pricing because of the kink, so he's a pet, because he'd be a pet only. And then, you know, I don't have to pay $50 shipping because I picked him up in person. I got to interact with him and see that he's friendly and he calms down pretty readily. As you can see, he was a little shaken up yet, a little nippy when you first go in. But I've been really good at training that out of my Wilma Python, so I hope it'll be no different with this, because there are some people that have rhino rat snakes that are nippy little devils. So, nippy little devils. Oh, he's checking me out. I know. Here, you want to go in your cage? You want to go in your cage? Here. Ooh. He's crawling on the stick and now through the plant and just kind of checking it out. And you can see he's pretty active, pretty sweet. And that bowl should be more than big enough. And like I said, he will be getting some fish. So just be careful. I have to watch his form while I'm doing this. Well, I'm not going to put these on right now. But let me show you him crawling around. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but he's already up there, and now he's crawling down.